Okay, so the question is that you're not able to let go of your addiction for tasty food and stuff that appeals to you, right? थोड़ा खा लेते हैं, लगता है पूरा हो जाएगा और उसके बाद में भी चाहता नहीं. You know, this is an illusion where we feel कि जो हमारे सेंसेस को चाहिए वो उनको प्रोवाइड कर दिया तो वो सेटिस्फाई हो जाएंगे. Lord Krishna says this beautifully in the Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna says that trying to satisfy the senses with the sense objects by providing the sense object to the senses is like trying to extinguish the fire by adding fuel to it. Will it extinguish? और ज़्यादा बढ़ जाएगा. Similarly, by trying to provide the sense with the sense object, the senses only crave more for it. Hasn't that been our experience? पहली बार जब हमने गुलाब जामुन खाया नहीं था तब तो फिर भी उसका इतना क्रेविंग नहीं था, पर जब उसको चख लिया देन द क्रेविंग फॉर इट स्टार्टेड इंक्रीजिंग. 4 बार खा लिया और बढ़ गया, 10 बार खा लिया अब तो रहा नहीं जाता, हर रोज खाने के बाद चाहिए. Isn't it? So any sense object that appeals to the senses to bring satisfaction is only an illusion. वो तो सच नहीं है. ऐसा लगता है कि इसको ग्रहण कर लेने से मेरा मन तृप्त हो जाएगा, पर उसको ग्रहण कर लेने से उसके प्रति जो आसक्ति है, जो क्रेविंग है, वो और ज्यादा बढ़ जाती है. द क्रेविंग इंक्रीजेस फॉर द सेंस ऑब्जेक्ट मच मोर व्हेन वी एक्चुअली. सो व्हाट इज द वे टू ड्रॉप इट? डज इट मीन दैट वी शुड नॉट, अरे सब अच्छा खाना छोड़ देना, सब सेंस प्लेजर्स छोड़ देना? नहीं, इट डजंट मीन दैट. इट सिंपली मीन्स that having a control over the mind, a say over the mind. Is the sense object driving the senses, or do the senses have a control to say when is it that I will engage with the sense object? There is a big difference between the two. Do you get it? If your senses decide when you will go and engage with the sense object, you are in control. But if the sense object decides when you should be going towards the object, then your mind is not in your control. And that brings misery, that brings sorrow. Okay? So therefore, the trick is to learn to control the mind through the senses, having a say over the sense objects. Does that make sense? Yeah? So the way again there is through the breathing, through the pranayams, through the meditation, the mind learns to have a say over when it should engage with the sense object and when it should abstain from the sense object. When we are very busy, we have an exam or an interview or something very important to do, automatically the senses retrieve back and they are not so much towards the sense object. But when the mind is free, there is nothing to do. जैसे आप एक संडे को बैठे हैं या फिर टीवी के सामने बैठे हैं, 4 चिप्स के पैकेट कब खत्म हो जाते हैं पता भी नहीं चलता. Isn't it? So when the mind has nothing to do, it drives itself towards the sense object much more. So staying busy and at the same time, through the practice of pranayam, through the practice of meditation, the senses come under the control of the mind and the mind is able to have a say rather than the senses taking over. That is the trick.